today I am unfortunately the bearer of bad news because our boy yyyy was nerfed a bit. So literally, as I was editing this video, we got an update from the universe, which I will
really want to go traveling.
So Hoyoverse messed up so bad that they are actually doing a rollback. Holy cow, this is literally the first time I have ever seen such a thing happen to Genshin Impact, and most importantly, we are actually getting 1,600 Primo Gems because of this mistake that they made, as well as me feeling like a clown, literally posting my video like an hour after this freaking tweet, which kind of, really drove me a bit insane. But here we go, we have a new video instead covering it. So next I'm going to go over what exactly happened, how they ended up nerfing yyyy, and I guess they're going to do a rollback now. So what exactly happened to yyyy? Now, I actually think Siege Queen actually provides us a bit of foreshadowing to what happened with yyyy in version 4.8. Now, Siege Queen, if you don't know, her ultimate is basically like a mini yyyy laser cannon. You can see when yyyy shoots his laser, he's able to move a bit, and he's able to, just move his laser around. However, when it came to Siege Queen, one of the first things I noticed about her in the last version 4.7 when she was released was that she cannot spin to win. So here we can see I'm spinning, and we're going to start spinning. If we use her ultimate, we can see that she is still going at a pretty slow rate despite me spinning like a madman right there. And here, let's take a quick look at the spin to win tech that we are talking about prior to version 4.8. So this is literally just 4.7, and we can see, if you guys know me, you know that I love this spin to win tech. yyyy is one of my favorite characters, and this is one of the reasons why, is because he has a giant, insane radial AoE attack. Just by increasing
I'll do ley lines,
of the
actually.
mouse like crazy and then just spinning, you're able to just spin and hit literally everything around yyyy for near maximum damage. And yeah, this made him incredibly overpowered against spread out enemies across the map. As you can see, these enemies are spread out, but yyyy just doesn't care, as he can just spin to win to take care of all of his problems. But now, we can see that, let's get a few balls here, and if we start spinning, all of a sudden you can see that his spin slows to a halt, and we are unable to spin like the glory days back, when obviously the spin to win tech still worked. And I even made an entire video explaining how this tech worked, as well as my concerns about the tech, how it might be patched out in the future. And unfortunately, that day has come. And here we can actually see that they did post this under their version 4.8 patch notes. We can see here that characters fixes an issue whereby yyyy could rotate at an unusually high speed when casting his charge attack, resulting in an abnormal attack range under specific circumstances. Let's be completely honest, they should have released yyyy with Siege Queen's elemental burst turn speed if they actually wanted this to not be an issue. But here we are today. Obviously, this bug has been unaddressed until now, so that is why this problem even exists in the first place. And they did let us know in the in-game mail as well. So for those of us that weren't affected by this change/bug, we all got 100 Primo Gems! Woohoo! However, my take on this is, I gotta be honest, I think Hoyoverse dropped the ball on this one, because this is something that they could have and should have at least addressed if they were going to change way back in version 4.2 when yyyy was released, because this has been well known by the entire community. I put it out, my videos have gotten well over 1 million views that included the spin to win tech, and supposedly Hoyoverse even knew about this back during 4.2's beta. However, obviously I can't corroborate that, but what I can say is that this has been known for such a long time, and for them to now address this, we are now at version 4.8, where yyyy has already had a rerun as well, so that implies that this spin to win tech is here to stay. Now, exactly how big of an actual impact does this actually have? Let's take a look at a few clips here that I've prepared for you guys. Now, this first clip demonstrates in 4.7 we have the spin to win tech on the left, just the last pack 4.7 against the current Abyss 12. And we can see that this roulette on the left, the spin to win, is able to just completely mow down everything, and the roulette on the right, on the other hand, is not able to spin to win at all, and the enemies are not, obviously dying to his complete lack of spinning to winning. So in other words, this tech is completely unviable now as of version 4.8, but
it can't be used in this rotation of the Abyss, which
where we are playing Yuvalet as intended,
would be very helpful on the first chamber specifically.
However, here we go, we're just going to play as normal Yuvalet without spinning winning, and we can see that just by positioning ourselves properly, we're able to get a very, very, very similar result to the 4.7 spin to win tech for this specific Abyss as well. But of course, this does not take away from situations where the spin to win tech is actually optimal, as well as the very, very slow addressal of foil burst for this specific bug. Personally, I would have hoped for them to address this much sooner, or at least make a statement, so that way players know that it's not intended. Because without any public statements from them for all this time, it is believed that this is intended to at least stay, or to just be kind of, swept under the rug. The reason for this is because so many other bugs that are unintended in the game, like for example, the book trick for Abyss 12 where you were able to cheat the timer essentially, are, I believe, still in the game. I haven't tested for version 4.8, but things like that still remain in the game and just haven't been addressed. Now, something like that, though, is not you bought a character because you intended to use the character for this purpose. At least, it's such a universal mechanic that I wouldn't, directly say that, hey, people pull for a certain character because of the book trick mechanic. However, when it comes to Yuvalet, I'm sure that some people know, likely a vast minority of people, chose to kill Yuvalet due to having the spin to win as an option, slash, that's kind of part of this kit, because, it's been 6 entire patches where it wasn't addressed, well, finally now, they finally addressed it in version 4.8. So if we take a look at Reddit, well, we can see here that some people are getting pretty upset about this. This person did bring up the good point that this is not his first rerun, and of course, they are bringing up that Modus Constellation 1 has not been fixed, and they also mentioned me here. Yes, indeed, I did include this. It has been 9 months. It's actually crazy. It's been an entire 9 months. And it looks like, sorry, Nuvalet's talking in the background. Let me just silence him real quick. And now the Chinese players are now reporting Nuvalet situations according to this person. Now again, I haven't verified these claims, but this tweet thread is very interesting, as well as this Reddit post. So people are obviously very upset about this, and of course I do think it is important to see multiple perspectives. And this person says, am I the only one who feels this then? When I went on Reddit and saw Yuvalet got nerfed, I was so scared because he's my favorite character that I scrolled through. He's just clunky and felt weird to use now. After that, I quickly updated my gameplay of the Abyss and was like, what, change? I'm serious, I don't feel the clunkiness. Am I missing something? Why is everyone mad? And this is a great point, because if you're just playing casually, and, for me as well, when I just booted up Genshin Impact and played, I actually didn't notice this nerf as well, because in most situations you are not spinning to winning. Now let's actually go through this tweet in more detail. Rollback, fix 2 of normal rotation speed for Nuvalet's charge attack. Dear travelers, after the version 4.8 update, we have been paying close attention to the feedback regarding the version, of which includes the fix to the abnormal rotation speed for Nuvalet's charge attack. After reading through all your feedback, we truly understand everyone's concerns. We are sincerely sorry that the fix has resulted in an unsatisfactory experience for our travelers, and we realize that no matter what the original intention was, modifications to any released characters would hurt the trust and support that our players have given us. Thus, we would like to sincerely apologize to all of you. Prior to this, the dev team knows that under certain circumstances, this is crazy to me because, they're implying, under circumstances, just notice that. Come on, guys, this has been around for a long time. Players can achieve high-speed rotations with Yuvalet during his charge attack by adjusting the sensitivity or mouse guy settings, which allowed him to inflict 360-degree damage. However, travelers using different devices achieving similar results will be difficult. Funnily enough, I do actually do this often on mobile. Moreover, the high camera rotation speed would result in visual blurry of game sceneries and enemies, which significantly deviates from the usual gaming experience.
That's if you have the fucking stupid-ass blur setting. That fucking sucks.
Without affecting the intended controls by travelers, whereby a normal rotation speed or shaking can be achieved. With this premise, we aim to adjust the rotation to a reasonable range to ensure travel consistent experience over different devices. The multiple factors needed to be considered, repeated discussions, and testing the fixes implemented in version 4.8. This is actually true. This is very difficult to perform, if not impossible, correct me if I'm wrong about that, on PlayStation devices. Anyway,
spin your entire controller.
Travelers experience the first-hand players provided
with gyro controls.
Fix. Some travelers mentioned that using the charge tech now felt more clunky, which it does, which was an oversight on our part. Therefore, after gathering and compiling feedback and suggestions from travelers, we decided to roll back this fix in a subsequent update. So, funnily enough, in a subsequent update, in this case, it took 6 patches to fix to nerf Mutilette's rotation speed. Now it might take 6 more patches to actually revert them. Now, personally, I don't think it'll take that long, but hey, you never know when it comes to Hoyoverse and say subsequent updates. Here's me hoping that they actually fix this in the next patch. And most importantly, and issue a compensation of Primo Gems X 1600 to travelers accordingly. Please stay tuned for further notices regarding the specific update schedule and issuance of compensation. We once again sincerely apologize to all travelers. We thank you for your support, and it's because of all of you that Genshin Impact has come this far. In future updates, we will be more cautious in decisions related to content that's been released, providing the best possible gaming experience for travelers. So, I actually think that the massive backlash on the CN side in particular, when it came to the lawsuit, actually might have led to
lawsuit.
Actually crazy.
Nice.
They're not supposed to nerf characters after a character is released. In this case, there's no way to frame this besides that it is actually a nerf Neuvillette, especially in massive AoE situations. I mean, this has been around for literally 9 months. And people that have spent their money are now kind of getting a bit screwed over for those that like to use the spin to win tech by not being able to do it in version 4.8. So we'll see when they finally actually fix this. I'm hoping for it to be soon because, you know, I obviously...
Holy shit, that's a lot of crit damage.
But it does look like, at the very least, we got some interesting discussions and content as well as 1600 Primo Gems for everyone due to this historic rollback that Hoyoverse has implemented. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Personally, I think this is a crazy development with all of this. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Went to Lose, signing out.
Of course. And my ER sucks. I don't like Karina's Japanese voice. She doesn't sound as pizzazzy as the English.
Proper send-off from the Stino with love.
That's a statement you can say to get cancelled easily.
Just like we rehearsed. Moving. Hunt them down. Hey there!
I do have sacrificial. What the fuck? Why is it sucking?
Watch out! Coming at ya! Ta! Oh. Oh.
I was in the 2nd grade when the original Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show debuted. It pretty much took my entire school by storm, which isn't really surprising considering that Yu-Gi-Oh! Card packs back then were very well designed to appeal to children. All the cards looked really cool, they had cool words used in them, if that makes sense, especially all the flavor text, considering that those cards back then were pretty much all normal monsters. By the time that middle school rolled around, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was sort of just starting out, I believe, and a lot of people still played the game, but when I say played the game, I mean that even though we had pretty good reading and comprehension, Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially before problem-solving card text was pretty confusing for middle schoolers. While we often did play mostly by the rules, there were a couple cards that probably fit a little on what their effects did, and but overall our decks were pretty unique. Everyone pretty much only had what they pulled from packs, and the packs back then were quite different from what they are right now, because the packs back then really didn't have archetypes, and you don't think that makes a huge difference until you're a kid in middle school, like it's like 1 pack a month, and you're just given a handful of random cards, which I would assume is a little different than how people nowadays, if you're in school, I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really popular in middle school anymore, but if it is popular
It's
in middle
not.
school and you only get 1 pack a month,
Sadly.
you very well could
Or actually, probably for the best.
decent archetypal deck,
Because
or
coal
at least have
money.
some synergy, where we were basically playing with random cards. Because of this, a lot of interesting cards came into rotation, and the meta for middle school was quite different than probably what the actual meta was. However, I will say that these 5 cards that I'm going to talk about here pretty much dominated the middle school dueling scene. I don't think anyone had more than one of these cards in their deck. It was pretty much like the ace card that no one knew how to deal with. 2 of them, the first 2 that I'm going to list, are on this particular top 5 list because we cheated with them, and then the other 3 are just hilariously hard to out if you don't have proper cards. The first one that I wanted to talk about, I think, is one that's pretty common, talking to people my age, and that is Patrician of Darkness. Now, this card's pretty straightforward. Level 5 monster, 2000 attack.
I also have nightmares with him.
You choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. Now, his original attacks were a little bit longer, a little bit more confusing. The important part here is that to middle schoolers, this was pretty ambiguous. What I mean by that is, at least for as far as everyone I knew, you could use this card to redirect your opponent's attacks to their own monsters. That is obviously not something that you're allowed to do, but when nobody can really read the rulebook or owns a rulebook, and the kid that has this is obviously trying to convince people that's how it works, it's basically impossible to deal with. Even though it only has 2,000 attack points, when you whack any form of spot removal, it's pretty much impossible to kill this thing. It even got to the point where, I mean, the outfit you would think even if you were following those rules would be just summoning one monster at a time, but at that point it was just, they just make you attack directly, which made this card incredibly stressful to deal with. I remember this was like one of the first cards when I went to a real tournament that I quickly learned that it does not work like that, and people probably laughed at me. But in the time that I was playing in middle school, it's basically impossible to deal with. Now the next one is one that is sort of a card that I always had in my head, but I always forget it exists, and that is Ultimate Obedient Fiend. Now, of all the cards on this is probably most obscure, because it has never been played in anything ever, even on a casual level. Ultimate Obedient Fiend is a crazy high-level monster with crazy attack points. 3,500 attack, 3,000 defense, pretty darn good. Its artwork is pretty insane as well. Its effect is just all restrictions, so it can only attack if it's the only card on your side of the field, and when you have no cards in your hand. I suppose it does have the bonus effect that negates the effect of flip monster or effect monsters that destroys in battle. But realistically, I don't know how. I think it was probably at a time when we weren't tributing for monsters, so you could just summon them. Also, those old school duels really were quite back and forth, so you easily could get put down to like no cards, and then just summon this. And once again, same thing with the Patrician of Darkness. If you don't have any spot removal, I don't know how you're going to deal with this thing. But I have a hard time recollecting whether or not it did follow the restrictions on this card, because now that I look at some of the older sets, it is once again pretty ambiguous as to what it does, especially if you only know most of the mechanics, but not necessarily all of them. This text back then, if you guys haven't played pre-problem solving card text, you are not missing out, because it was pretty darn awesome. Number 3 is a more relevant card in terms of actual popularity, and that is Destiny Hero Defender. Now, when this thing came out, once again, pretty tough to deal with. 2700 defense for level 4 monster is still pretty much unheard of, and for its time, especially once again without any spot removal, this card was pretty tough to remove from the field. So you really had no way of attacking over it without building up some tributes. And when we were kids, we didn't really see the drawback of giving your opponent a free card every turn, which looking back on it now is like pretty much the worst effect ever, considering this thing doesn't really do anything besides give your opponent free cards. Even if it takes them one turn to deal with it, you've now given them a free card, which is just a bad idea all around. But I certainly can remember times where I had multiple of these on the field and actually deck my opponents out, which is just really silly to think about, considering this card doesn't even have like a built-in protection effect. It just sits there with 2700 defense. But it actually had a lot of synergy with a lot of the other things I was playing at the time. You can search with reinforcement of the army. I didn't own Destiny Draw by any means, but I did enjoy a lot of the Destiny Hero cards. This kind of fit right in there with that theme. I don't know, Destiny Hero Defender is probably the least bad of all the cards on the list here, but it didn't really close out.
2700, what the hell?
Deck out strategy sort of unintentionally worked on a lot of opponents. All they needed was like any piece of removal, like Regeki or Dark Hole, or the next card we're going to talk about actually, and in that case this card is pretty much useless. Coming in at number 2, I guess I can try to pronounce this card. It's Bio Drakmord. Is that a pretty good attempt? I don't know what this card is supposed to mean or how it's supposed to be pronounced. This thing is like the slowest form of spot removal, and yet at the time I felt like we all were really afraid of this card. I remember when I actually pulled this from a pack, and I was so excited because my friend had used it to beat me so many other times, and I could finally use it on him. So its effect is the equip monster cannot attack and destroy the equip monster at the end of its controller's second turn after this card is activated. At that time, this card is returned to the owner's hand. So the big deal here is that it restricts the monster from attacking, and then after 2 turns it blows up, and then more importantly, this thing goes right back to your hand. Now that might seem pretty slow, and it obviously was slow, but once again, with these back and forth duels between middle schoolers, cards like this actually could go off. And this is sort of, and it still technically is, limitless removal. You could use this on a big monster. It couldn't even attack you while it was equipped. After 2 turns, you could add it back to your hand, and then if they had managed to summon another big monster, you just equip this right to it. Considering how hard it was for us to get out big monsters in the first place, this thing was just ridiculously annoying. And like I said, when I pulled this card, that was like the most excited I've ever been for pulling a card, just because it had been used on me so many other times, and I just couldn't deal with it. If you think that monster spot removal was hard to come by, back row spot removal was even harder to come by, especially in those olden days when MST was at 1 and stuff like that, and not all of us had Heavy Storm, because once again, the decks that we were making were actually just built from whatever 1 pack every couple months that are ready to do this. Number 1 was probably, without a doubt, the most annoying card in middle school, and it was super annoying because, and I specifically remember this, that there was a rich kid in class whose parents buy him structure decks, and none of us bought Structure Decks. Our parents just bought us packs, and because he bought Structure Decks, he just infinitely have a better deck than we did, and that is Tornado Wall. So Tornado Wall is a trap card that you can only activate when you have human face up on the field. That came in original water structure decks. So we had Legendary Ocean actually, which is another really powerful card, considering the level reduction. But besides that, so while the humans face up on the field, you take no battle damage from attacking monsters. So this card when you use the field. Now looking back, especially looking right before middle school, like the end of elementary school, our decks pretty much were just revival spells and big monsters. Especially before we started counting for tribute summons, everyone just played their favorite cards that had a lot of attack points. And let me tell you that when you play, and those cards back then a lot of times didn't have any effects or any relevant effects. They were all just kind of situational, silly ones that didn't really plus or minus you. They just were there. They existed. When someone flipped Tornado Wall against you, there was that point when you realized you had no way to out it, which means that you never could kill them. And I specifically remember at recess and stuff like that, people flipping, well, that one person flipping Tornado Wall, and if he drew it, you just lost instantly. You think that someone drawing that aggressive tweener is an auto loss. Well, let me tell you, when someone draws Tornado Wall and you have no back row removal, that's pretty much an auto loss as well. At that point, the only way to win would be decking them out, but our decks at that point were probably 60 cards or something crazy like that, possibly even more. I don't quite remember that part. But Tornado Wall, this card. Another card that eventually bought the water structure deck, and realized that my friend at the time had actually just been getting structure decks, so we just had all these fantastic cards. And that water structure deck, for its time period, especially compared to the cards that we were using, was just way too good. I can also remember that pretty much after that, the goal was always to have my mom buy me structure decks, not packs, because I eventually realized that when you buy structure decks in an environment when everyone else is playing packs, you'll win almost every single time. But that's besides the point. I think that about wraps this video up. Let me know if you had any other crazy experiences with cards that you just couldn't deal with in middle school. I don't really know if this is like super relevant nowadays, because I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Has sort of fallen out of popularity with that demographic. A lot of people are probably just playing mobile games or video games or stuff. But back then, this was like all the rage. It was pretty much maybe not the peak of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s popularity, because Yu-Gi-Oh!'s pretty much only got more popular, at least overall, in the past couple of years. But at least for the younger demographic, I feel like it was most popular when the original TV show came out, which was right when I was in middle school. Anyway, though, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
What did I just wake up to? Bug fix, nerf, lawsuits, reversion, apologems, free tentpole. It's a crazy day. Let's talk about it. So this was along with the new patch. There is an issue whereby Novelette could rotate at an unusually high speed when casting his charge attack, resulting in an abnormal attack range under specific circumstances. This issue has been fixed. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this has caused and have prepared the below compensation for you. Please make sure to click on 100 Primo Gems to make up for the nerf. Now, what was the nerf? Well, Thanks to MMOJack57, go subscribe to him. We'll make a video with side-by-side comparison. I'm actually on controller, so my controller always works the way on the left, but I'm happy that this is the difference. So as you can see, the other one is clearing way faster and moving way faster, because when you spin really fast, you can get more damage. And I think a lot of people use this, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people just like to move around. But even just moving him around, he moved slower. So when you're just trying to reposition, it just didn't move as fast. He used to reposition instantly, and with the bug fix, he moved around much slower. So people were really, really upset about that. And to be honest, understandably, I was on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to make a video just on the nerf. Especially because I didn't know if I was the right person to make
I want
that
to play
video.
with
Again,
Hyperbloom Lisa again with this team.
Because I'm on controller. Just another way that controller players are shafted in Genshin Impact. But I was definitely sad for the let players that was a less.
But also, I just remembered I wanted to try
But then they were complaining, and I think
412 again, just for a little while.
Hurt so much is because it wasn't like a day after he came out. If it was one day after he came out and they fixed it so he couldn't spin as fast, it would still be on shaky ground. Really, it should have been addressed before the character came out, but I think, you know, with some apologems, whatever, if it was fixed the next day, I think people would understand. But after he's already had 2 runs, it's almost been like 8 months or something, people were not understanding at all. So there have been bugs like this in the past. There was a Barbara Super Bloom patch where Barbara was almost like nerfed that. There was Sincho had infinite Hydra application nerfed too. Fischl also had some extra stuff. There was a lot of stuff in the days that I wasn't even around for, but there were bug fixes in the past. But this is different. This is a limited character that people potentially spend a lot of money on. And so what happened is the Chinese player base began reporting the Novelet situation to the government for consumer fraud. I'm just going to trust the translation here. But taking actual legal action, the comment below is a telephone for free legal advice. So they're making memes about it. They take their gacha games very, very seriously. And of course, it's also sus because new Hydro character coming, Nadlin, is apparently a DPS, and so it's a bit sus to nerf strongest Hydra DPS and then release a new Hydra DPS with the next patch. That's like pretty yikes. It's a really bad look. I'm very surprised they went for this, by the way. Oh, the other time, this reminds me the most of the Yaimiko fiasco, where changed the Yaimiko's turret targeting. That one really did seem like they were trying to fix her. People were complaining, so they tried to fix her targeting, but then the new way actually made her worse. And so they reverted it back after. And that one really did seem like they were trying to fix her because people were complaining. This one, people were complaining because it was a nerf. So, okay, what happened? The CN community went crazy, and just a couple hours later, before I even had a chance to think about if I was going to make a video on this topic, they announced a rollback. They are completely rolling back the change. Here's the official post. After the version 4.8 update, we've been paying close attention to the feedback regarding the new version, which includes the fix of the abnormal rotation speed for no.
You guys were not paying attention. The attention was forced to you.
We're sincerely sorry for the fix that has resulted in an unsatisfactory experience for our travelers, and we realize that no matter what the original intention was, modifications to any released character would hurt the trust and support that our players have given us. True. Thus, we would like to sincerely apologize to all of you. It's crazy that they actually went head-on and addressed it head-on. This is not typical Hoyoverse behavior. It speaks to the devs listening changes that have the change in the attitude that Genshin's had since there has been more competition, both internal and external. I'll link my video on the Hoyoverse devs listening again because I'm right, they've changed their attitude. Prior to this, the dev team noticed that under certain circumstances, players could achieve high-speed rotations with a charge attack by adjusting the sensitivity or most DPI settings, which allowed them to inflict 360-degree damage. I will say it shouldn't be a thing. This does seem like a bug, and they should have found a way to fix this right away without adjusting the general feel of the character for using normal. Because I think that's the real problem. In my opinion, this was a bug, it should have been changed, but hey, it's in the game now, you can't take it back now, right? If it doesn't get patched right away, it's not a bug, it's a feature, even if it was originally a bug. Anyways, however, for travelers using different devices, achieving similar results proved difficult. Moreover, the high camera rotations against screen enemies, which significantly 100% agree. It should not have existed, but you're too slow, guys. You had to fix it immediately, and give apologies.
Still sucks.
Here comes the catch. Sharing my knowledge. Our bond is
I need them
strong.
to come to me first and foremost. With this team.
Outlines her. Out of my way.
I agree that it should have been consistent, but you had to
Witness the power of
from the beginning. I don't like when house players get special
I see everything.
There's obvious game, but you had to put off and roll back.
I'll settle this.
With multiple factors, there's
Everyone hold hands.
discussion.
Make yourselves at home. Yeah.
It's like 6
Things are about to get
After
dicey.
6 months, I was about
Rain cutter. Know my
had
sword.
a lot of feedback.
Bond is strong.
Of travelers from the parts I now
I
felt
see everything.
lucky. Part just like bonus mistakes that therefore after gathering out of feedback and questions
Everyone hold hands.
decided good. What do you expect Whatever's to do normally? Roll back the fix, maybe? Or
Let me weave
roll
you a
back
verse.
half the fix,
Things up.
right? Or
It's over.
they're gonna adjust it in a way that makes it even worse, maybe? That's what you expect. What do they actually do? They decided to roll back this way. This is a secret update. You accomplish.
Where do you think you're going?
Traveling accordingly. It's rolling back the fix and an
Busted.
as an apology. You get your original novelette and everyone gets a tenfold. What? Please stay tuned for further notices regarding specific update schedule and issuance of This has to be like Wuthering Waves inspired, in my opinion. They never gave. I've never seen them give a tenfold as compensation.
That mean it happens in fucking
100.
Abyss as well.
But all of a sudden, it's tenfold, and you fully get everything back. Once again, sincerely apologize to all the travelers. Thank you for your support and to all of you that Genshin Impact this far. In future updates, we'll be more cautious in decisions made on this to provide the best possible game experience. Yeah, get it right the first time, or if there's an oversight, get it right the next day. Can't be waiting months and months and months. Honestly, Super Pog, hey, you gotta give them kudos for making the right decision when they make it. They didn't used to listen, they didn't used to treat their players well, but now they do. I do want to address a couple things while we're talking about this, because a lot of people have been taking this and be like, oh, they listened to this feedback right away, and they're not listening to other feedback, which I won't be covering that other feedback on this channel. It's a very, very charged topic, and we're just not going to get into any supercharged discussion like that on this channel.
Electro-charged?
That's just not what this channel is about. But I would like to say I very much support everyone's decision to stand for what they believe in. If the product isn't, because again, Genshin Impact is a product. Hoyoverse is a company. They're not your friend. They're not your buddy. They're not your teacher or parent or your boss. They don't owe you anything. It's your job to indicate what you want in a product. It's their job to provide the product that they offer, and it's your job to satisfaction or dissatisfaction. They're a company that exists to make a profit, and just like any company, the reason why companies will do this and rollback fixes is because they're scared that if they don't, they will profit. The reason why companies ever take a stand on social issues is for profit. There's definitely a factor of individual companies, and especially the smaller the company, the more the individual's personality shine through. But especially when a company becomes publicly traded, it is purely about profit. That's just how companies are. It's probably not how companies should be in an ideal world. Ideally, we're all looking out for each other. Ideally, everyone wants people well and that. But the system that we have is the company provides the product, provide the feedback, and in this scenario, the player base was CN player base. Possible boycott. The reality is, that's the CN I've heard about issue. and spend slavery their needs.
Rain outlines your fate.
Whatever.
Know my sword.
And again, I'm not talking about how it should be. I'm just talking about how it is. They listen to the dollars. People with the dollars, they listen to the dollars.
Let's
That is
light
it.
it
That's
up.
what I've always said. That's what
Out
it
of
is.
my
That's
way.
what it is. Better or worse, that's what the system is. So if you want changes, hopefully TN wants the same changes as you do, because they can get it done. They can get it done.
Let me leave you
Get the
alone.
entire month back to your full absolutely done. So thanks TN. I look forward to the tentpole. It'll probably be fixed for 4.9 or maybe whatever. But let me know your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye for now.
Rain outlines your fate. Our bond is strong. Lightning terrified. Rain cutter. Time to act.
Ladies, I'm covered. Yeah, no wood still, but I'm definitely not gonna starve to death. I gotta sleep before monsters come get me. Alright. Well, I don't really want to live in this village. Just, they're just ugly. I will, of course, steal all their stuff. That goes without saying. Plan right now is to walk around until I find something that'll make my life not so terrible. Whacking this guy felt better. Didn't improve my situation. Okay, there we go. Right over that ridge. Villager outpost. Made of wood. It's also guarded by pillagers. That's an issue. You know what, for now I'm just going to go to the nearby town, steal some stuff. Maybe that'll inspire me. What would you do? Doesn't matter, because I'm going to do something different. But what would you do? I'll give you a second to think and write and type. I know it's hard. You know, all that tablet time was not good for you. Your mom should be ashamed. Well, I had the great plan to give up. And it was good I did, because right down the road I saw a better pillager outpost. This one's water adjacent. I know from experience that pillagers do terrible in the water. So I made a little water approach, swimming underneath it. They won't even see me. Okay, you get the... Come on, not spotted yet. That's one. That's so much wood. Come on, two. Alright, three. Can I get three? I think I get three. Oh, yes. Ooh. Oh, that was good. Make an axe, make an axe, make an axe. If I can get all this, I should be good. Just gotta grab all this wood. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little greedy. Ooh, come on. Oh, plan worked great. I've got wood. And some logs. I don't really have a plan on how I'm going to spend it. I think resource conservation is going to be very key in the desert. So I think I'm just going to keep adventuring. I think at this point I'm really just trying to find a home. I've got food, I got a little wood, I have no place to lay my head. Being nomadic is fun and all, but I'm a family man. Ooh, desert temple. Okay, yeah, I think I can do this. I have an axe. The only people these things really kill are who have no idea what to expect, so I should be fine with just a wood pick. Hey, yeah, just dig down. Should be that simple. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Okay, get dapple. Dapple. That's there. Oh! Diamond! Yes! Screw a family, I'm being a nomad. Hey villagers, it's me, the Desert Drifter, not stealing from any of you tonight. You know, I looked into getting a license for that one desert song. You know the one I'm talking about. When I say the desert song, you know how it goes. It's gonna be like a couple $1,000, bro. This is a YouTube video. Cut me a break. I was just gonna play it at like a time like this when I'm really just in the desert doing nothing, wandering around. You know, it felt good to be out of the rain. I did listen to it. Probably 70 times. Yeah, during this. It just hit right. The vibe was just right. Can't play it though. Someone can go make a fan camp with it. That'd be sweet. Anyway, pretty much nothing. Day 5. No place has screamed home to me yet. Oh, you know what though? This could be a good spot. Villager outpost, water adjacent. That's got everything I need. Looked around a bit, claimed myself the biggest house there. obviously. And in Minecraft, it's not home unless it has a tunnel into the earth. There's water beneath me. Just the worst.
I'll try this again.
It felt like 7 hours later, I'm in a cave. Near butt naked, though, when it's real dark and there's a skeleton who just has my number. Whatever, I'm just gonna go up and hope everything despawns. Mine tomorrow. Look at me! Stone tools! How far I've come! The skeleton
Don't be
shoot
scared.
me out of
My
the dark.
guys are
You can see it.
Everybody's
Still so much
back.
water, too. Next cave. But I've got a mind. Can't live off sand. I'm slowly but surely I'm getting this cave lit up. It takes a while. Gotta be careful. But I'm doing it the right way. Hey, on, it's some iron. How's the day or 2 away from doing iron gold? So that's good. 13's not a full set of tools and armor, but it's done. What do I even think? What do I prioritize? More rare than anything is the wood. I probably won't regret this, but in the desert, I should probably have a good shovel. I'm gonna use that diamond I found on a shovel. A lot of villagers here too, man. Do I really need like 10 fishermen? I don't think so. These are my barrels now. Got a little money from my nomad days. I'm gonna spend that on some arrows that'll help in the caves. Got a shield, got an iron sword, diamond shovel. Go get wood. Little close to water still, but not as close as that one. Gotta say, this is the toughest tree I've ever chopped. Oh, no. That. Oh, it's so fresh, that. They don't stop spawning. Oh. Alright, score 1 villager. That would make us even. Whatever. Airlessers, I'm gonna leave the church. 2 diamonds. And the god apple. 2 diamonds that I got. That's the decision. New plan, they got some iron golems held captive. I'm gonna release them. A little sloppy here, but I hope that buys me some time. And come back, getting them out requires a lot of escape. But the plan worked. I've now got cover to get all with this outpost. Use most of it. Where else am I gonna find it first? This stuff is rare. Getting everything. Okay. They don't gotta do that again for a while. Back in the cave's armor sucks, but tools are decent. Iron armor would go a long way for me right now. I'm so scared of skeletons. They one-shot me. And a creeper? Yeah, creeper's gonna end me even if I have diamond armor. Yeah, this is mining Minecraft. Escaping. I know it's a desert video. Pretty much all of my videos. No matter how wacky the location, there's always some mining. Makes me want to do 100 days no mining. I'm sure someone's already done that. Probably, well, already done that. Sorry for ruining it. Don't want to waste my gold. Make the resource conservation. I'm gonna grab some lava from the outpost. And a bit of a trip. Now I can cook my iron for free. See, this is why we need to find a good spot to set up shop. It's gonna pay off big time. Day 10 is normally a great day to look around and see everything you've accomplished, but I'm not gonna do that because I've got a mine. Guess I don't really have to mine. Just abandon all of this. No man. I did just fine. Found more diamonds, actually. Okay, I hit the east. Oh, skeletons, bro. I can handle this. Good news is I've got enough iron now for everything I need. Just gotta grab some lava because I care about the environment.
This is not realistically possible.
It keeps the dirty villagers out. A little bit of mining on the way. Now, make my hole look nicer. Like a hole. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just simple leveling. I don't know, maybe I have to do something. I dislike having to hop around my land. And I did make that diamond shovel, so construction shouldn't be too bad. And it's all very efficient because I can use the sand for building material. Everything's made out of sand. I always get worried about all the underground water. It should be pretty simple to clear up. Somehow in Minecraft, even when I'm not mining, like mining, well, even after just 1 day, it's looking much more flat around here. So yeah, more of that, well, desert, there isn't much to do. No a shovel. For now, I'm going around the building. I'm not going to worry about them just yet. I just want it all on one level. They're made out of sand anyway. It's just going to make the building taller. I think I'll have to do anything for them. Oh yeah, this is definitely going down as one of the easiest renovation sites ever done. It all just looks so much more finished on one level. You know, like it all is intentional, what I'm doing. I didn't just find this village and start living in it. I guess that's exactly what I did. But it didn't look like this when I found it. There was much more food. Day 13, trying to figure out a good boundary. Where does my village end and the desert begin? And clearing out debris from these taller houses now so the villagers can work again. Now look at this one. Went up 3 whole blocks, so that's going to be a tall one. I don't know how I feel about the sand on the bottom of the structure. There's sandstone on top, sand on the bottom. It's fixable. Just don't really like it at this moment. But you know what? I gotta focus. Perimeter's...
A sign has also ventured into business with Fair, and its shipment of her mega tanks is on its way to help the South in its war against Wunderland.
Listen, Teddy, and maybe it even does fit better with the whole early 1900s thing, but does the term mecha tanks hit anyone else like someone's out of touch data saying it?
Oh, scream! Your rhythm is off again. At this rate,
Uh-oh.
it doesn't
So
even
we know from later that Barrack is playing both sides of the
hello there.
conflict, but the shipments
I hope
of
you aren't interrupting the ride.
mecha tanks wasn't
Hey,
accompanied
isn't
by
it
any
kids
security.
beside
Some ships to help
the
keep the
forest
shipment
fairy
safe.
is
Surely
here.
Barrack wanted
For
to
the
go off
life
without a
of the
hitch. He
Lotus
could have hired some
Arbite.
hustlers, some boats,
don't
right?
pressure yourselves
Especially
on
since
Mike.
a year later,
Sure
this
are.
is the third time that this happened. Good idea to
We've
put
been
up
out
this
of
plywood fence around the spirit
I
portal.
understand.
Good job, Chief
Look
Moonalog.
rather
Also, does
bizarre.
anyone think it's funny
I
that
do.
Yui described the spirit
And it's a
oasis like this?
Ah,
It's the
then
center of
he
all
must be an
spiritual energy.
When
Is
there
there
was an
anything we
enormous
can do to
closed
help you?
spirit
No,
portal
my
not that
problems
far
are
away that she
mine. It's
totally
just
should have known about since
after
she
the
was the
tavern
princess.
closed.
We're on
Get her?
trump card.
I
The
know,
Avatar is dead.
but
Honestly, yeah, it's
So
extremely
he's a
unlikely she
victim of
washed
the
up on a
feeding
beach
disorder.
somewhere
Don't be
unconscious
sad,
with
Mr.
amnesia
Stream.
since they were in the middle of the ocean. I guess Ash did
Whenever we
something similar
smile
once, but at
and
least the last
patiently
time we
tell
saw
me
him, he was kind
everything's
of
going to
killing
be
it with a
okay.
renewed sense of purpose and
We
not
just need to
horribly
help you
obliterated
remember
by
how
a
to sing,
spirit.
right?
How did they do
The
this? How did
traveler's
they
got
noticeably make
What
this
you
thing
say,
look like a
Stream?
miniature,
I
but in
think
a
it's a
way where it's
great
not
idea.
obviously supposed to
are you
look like
sure?
a
Don't worry
miniature
about
in
it,
the
Mr.
world?
Stream.
Like, obviously, Barrack
All
doesn't
right,
want
then.
this to look like a miniature,
Thank
and
you
the
so
show
much,
makes it look
everyone.
like someone's
I'll
really
give it my
trying
best
hard on
shot.
it, but it's still noticeably a miniature. This one frame is incredible. It kind of blows me away. How did they do this?
With my water-bending doomsday device!
They really do these anime-esque shots more than I remember, where it's just a picture and the camera pans. In Airbender, you hear a lot online where it had some animation, some movement,
Just
everything.
collect particles.
So, yeah, there's some shots where characters are noticeably freakishly still, and that's just going to happen. It's animation. But there's always some movement every shot, all of them. At least I can't think of an example where that's not true. And that seems like something I would have remembered at this point. The only thing I can think of are establishing shots that don't have animation, but what are you going to animate? A building, a place. And that's a really cool, ambitious thing to do. Take a lot of inspiration from anime, then also go the extra step in doing away with the limitations of the medium. Unfortunately, for a season 2, at least early on, couldn't keep the streak up.
I will end the evil Urlach's reign of terror, for I am not taught. On the cell!
It is kind of fun, the vibe of the old war cartoons or the goofiness of old black and white action serials. I like the idea of involving this sort of fiction during the era anyway. I think it's cool. It's even got a weird level of likely racist.
Battle in the leaves of the river stone.
So time accurate, it's the first ever connected Avatar universe punch in the face. Wow, very impressive. For the love of God, though, I really hope that's the sun.
My evil plan is working.
Your Northern Watercraft costumes are pretty good, but the moon's on the wrong side.
Spicy, not talk. My anti-energy.
Excellent! Perfectly in time.
Oh no, they're gonna actually. You guys hear about all that T-Field stuff they came out with? Oh man, they're really gonna shoot me, aren't they? Fired up with the line item reviews. Bill? Yeah, see what
Is it true?
So sorry.
What happened? Why are they so...
That's some bullshit. There was no poopy mirror in this room when Thor was being interrogated in episode 1, unless there are 2 interrogation rooms. Entirely possible.
This is the third attempt this week. Not the same location.
Good sweet lord, look at this guy's head.
No
That-
good. Your
Favorite
rhythm is
ship in the
off
Barrack
again.
Industry Suite. Named her after my
Oh, I need to... The squirrels are...
I know sometimes I say...
I can't believe it took me that long to figure it out. Whatever, it worked.
feel
Really
like
don't get
I'm
this
getting
one?
the
And
hang
this
of it
other
again.
3 pieces of paper up on
Goddess
this
is
board up
above.
here, but now there are only
This
2, and
better
you know
stick
that's
when
something
it comes
that
to the performance.
Thank you, everyone.
inside.
Great work,
Glad to hear
everybody!
that
Another
you're
open and
feeling
shut
better,
case
Mr.
for the
Stream.
dynamic mustachio duo.
Forward to your performance.
Wait, I think Mom might
Traveler,
have found something.
climb on.
Yeah, guys,
We
calm
should
down.
make our way to
Pop
the
this
next
on me, I have
location.
something to say.
Yeah, let's all listen to the rook.
He's doing a better job than
What
you.
do you think, cutie?
Hungry.
It's a weird beat in this scene. You kind of think Barrack is just being his weird cartoon character self here, but actually, he's just trying to get everyone off the idea of investigating the case any further, which is kind of cool, actually, in retrospect.
Sting operation. I was thinking we'd set up a bait ship, take it out into the open ocean, and capture whoever attacks it.
Let's do it.
I don't want to go behind Bayfarm's back. If she finds out, I could get kicked off the force.
Wait. So, Mako, you go behind Flora's back to betray her after a slight prodding from Raito, but you're worried about going behind Bayfarm's back with this Sting operation plan? Are you
I'm
kidding
sorry,
me?
Grandpa
You just seem like a
Almond.
self-concerned act at this point. So Flora down the river because you want to keep your job, and you probably reasoned out in your head that it was
Miss
more
Citrus is
peaceful
supposed to
before
add
it wasn't
all
allowed to go
kind.
forward with her boneheaded
Appreciate the
plan.
kind
Was for
words,
the greater
Grandpa.
good, Stop,
Alright.
but now for this Sting operation you're taking,
Terrible
which is
timing.
definitely for the greater good. You're
you
still
give my
worried about
tale
your
a
own
little
job
twist?
security? What if something bad
That should.
So that's pretty kinky.
Of course, they're
the boss
connected.
didn't say it like
Just like how you can't have.
Not yet. We need some extra men.
What about Cora? A better muscle than the Avatar.
Right.
She's currently at the bottom of the ocean. Fish have probably started feeding at this point. Bright side, 2 Earth avatars more. That'll be fun. Also, someone on my Patreon mentioned that Korra was likely headed to the Fire Nation. General
You need
Iroh
to
mentioned
find
the Fire
something?
Lord and his grandfather would likely be open to helping Korra's cause. But man, that's still a hell of a boat ride. Much less. Yes. Still, I don't know. That kind of crap?
It turns out that one of the perks of being a star, that's cash. Is this a marble statue of you?
Sure, why not? Marble is just a rock. Statues of any kind in the Avatar verse when it's peacetime should probably be far less revered.
It's also a hat rack. We don't even have hats.
That's some bullshit as well. You have at least one hat. I've seen it. Now even Bolin has enormous person-sized swords on his wall too. And he's got an alter ego in Nutclub. Is Bolin supposed to be the Zuko of this show?
One time when I came to your house, and you basically told me to get a life.
What is this chip on his shoulder that Bolin has? You're back home. What are you gonna tell you? Do whatever you want, bro. I don't know. That's gotta be attempted murder. You son. I don't know how the moon works. That's still fully painted at the bottom of it. You guys ever just take it in that Mako wears fingerless gloves almost all the time? Like, really let it hit you?
What am I actually supposed to be getting?
We didn't do it. I'm not here on police business. I'm running an off-the-books operation.
I find myself thinking, what gang in the world would ever hear this out from a cop, especially if it's gang member
This
cop?
doesn't seem quite right.
Have to be the definition of entrapment, right? So as long as they have that law, I guess maybe they could.
What's in it for the triple threats? I am personal friends with the Avatar. I might be able to convince her to give Shady Shin his bending back. Sounds good to me, boss.
Wait,
Why do I need to do it one at a time? That's so annoying.
Maybe you should even
doesn't
give the
seem
criminals
quite
their
right.
bending back. Or like, I don't know, that's a really tough question for me. Like, if they're known criminals, they would likely lose track with their bending. So probably not, I guess. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time with the idea that Korra just didn't give everyone their
That
bending.
feels much better. So there
Evil
really
on
is
stage.
some kind
That
of
means
thank
she
you
agrees with the law on some level that
everyone.
some people shouldn't have bending. What was the cutoff? Because people Korra didn't like. Did Tano get
Traveler,
bending,
hey,
even though he was a
We
dick?
should make our way to the next location.
I've got vehicles, all brand new and top of the line.
What do you think, cutie?
Wait, hold on. What the hell is going on here? Didn't Asami have a big character moment last season where she was like, Dad, you're evil. You do bad stuff with the villain. I hate you for all time. Everyone was definitely a tier above Street Gang. What Hiroshi was doing so much different than what Asami is promising here? She's going to supply a criminal organization with top-of-the-line machinery that she's developing. Hello? Hypocrite alert?
So, what's it like being the Avatar?
Come on, Mako. We're Red Star Pros. We have a connection.
Broke up.
You broke up?
Look at her pupils dilate. She smells blood in the water. You can tell. Man. 60 years ago, giving everyone in the Avatar that over got the Emperor.
I'll never leave you.
The bullet taking a note of the Forest book when the Ginger's talking down. Thank you for here.
You're totally getting like a weird vibe from me right now. It's like a minute ago when you were shooting, you were into me. But now you're not.
Oh god, well, this can't differentiate fantasy
No
from reality.
game.
Oh,
No
fucking hell,
game.
next time, you know, he's gonna have a vlog talking about how he really went to Hogwarts.
That's me, two-toed pig. Because you have 2 extra toes.
Wait, we know that Pig is a firebender from the first episode, so imagine all the extra torque you can get with these toes on each foot. See, like, if you turn third arm, then maybe I could understand.
Mako and that dame distracted for a few hours, so that's what we're gonna do.
You were paid? How much? Hell, you took the money instead of the sponsorship from the crazy advanced machinery lady who has cars and mechs and planes? Well, I guess eventually you could borrow. You could even buy cars and mechs and planes. Mako falls with the boat here, but then falls onto it afterwards. If he just decided to fall slow. This animation studio on some level. Sure, the models can look all jacked up, and sure, there are some shots with little to no animation, but the action they do does tend to be really, really solid. Some pretty impressive shots. Honestly, that's a pretty good visual gag. Come on. Holy shit, everyone does this hit. Why? It doesn't seem good.
Whoever paid the triple threat stole everything.
That must have been a colossal operation. There's no way they just jacked 100 mechs and a bunch of planes silently. Like, the whole city must know about this.
No pain, no
I'm not
gain.
giving up on
That shit really going around this episode, huh? At least Asami waited until they were broken up, though. Right, Korra? Oh, right.
Who hired you to double-cross us?
I don't know.
something new.
Zuko's fine. It's the most daiquiri I've ever seen them, honestly.
And you're gonna tell me, but we're gonna have to change your name to No Toad Pink.
I love how Mako's like, oh gee, we gotta play it by the book, my career's on the line. If Baseball finds out, go, but then he just has no problem running around intimidating criminals, threatening them with extreme violence. Are you a good guy by the book, Mako, or are you do whatever it takes back for? It seems like when one's looking, protocol goes out the window. We'll break the rules as long as there's no back.
Pipes.
You can't be held accountable.
Pipe bomb.
Look, the forest fairy's here. And she brought her computer.
Hello there, everyone.
But it seems much more
Oh, we wouldn't dream of troubling you with our...
Hey, you sure about that? Because
yes. We have...
Hey, I just wanted to
With those
inspect each
explosives to
pipe.
go off like that?
This is the
Hey,
network the magic tonic
it's a very
has to
good
flow
industry's
through.
exclusive.
I was just
Here,
trying to
check
be
it out.
thorough.
He's not
So
good, not like good.
I
Like, he's
disassembled
not
the whole thing.
good at being a
Yeah,
cop. He
and
just
now you've
acts
forgotten how to put the thing back together. Have you been eating too many nuts again? Because you are what you eat.
please don't fight.
Zombie, I think I know
I
who
know
set us up.
everyone wants the tavern to reopen as soon as possible, so... Yeah,
See,
we're
this
ready.
is cool.
Well,
This is where Derek
if you're
Peach for,
offering-
Attention to detail.
He's like
It
this
says the guy who
Machiavellian
messed up the
scheming
whole-
mastermind that just acts like an idiot to disarm people. He's like the Darth Jar Jar theory, basically, except they actually did it. It's really cool.
You just saved my company. They're got a controlling interest in future industries.
Also, wait, you gave him controlling interest? Great, if you just wanted the payday and the leave, but that means Derek's in charge. You just sold your company. Aren't you like a businesswoman? You still want to be in charge, right? I guess not. Oh, Thor's alive. Wow, that was lucky. Didn't she just get pulverized into the middle of the ocean? Wow, I did not speed that up at all. Can you imagine waking up from a horrible injury and just hitting everyone crowded around you with a double no-hand windmill as you stand up at light speed?
Who's the Avatar Aura?
I guess the amnesia thing, maybe it's because I take in different media now, but I don't feel like the amnesia thing is as tired of an idea as it was before. But I remember watching this back in the day and I was like, man, are you kidding me right now?
How did you know?
I don't...
Fucking me neither. You ain't ever had this? The company before can do a defensive B-boy maneuver as soon as she wakes up, but then collapses in weakness 30 seconds later. It's just hilarious to me. Well, the thing is certainly better than last episode. I still find myself wondering about the Civil War we spent the first 5 episodes starting and setting up. We'll stop all and still do our rounds in the public city, but at least this episode feels focused on something. And honestly, that something is kind of interesting. The weird double-cross plot of first the gangsters, then there. Yeah, kind of fucking full of it. But I wish Marco wasn't the least likable character in fiction, and the zombie was characterized more strongly at this point. It kind of feels like a zombie really cares about her company, and that's her whole thing. If her company's doing well, she's happy.
Maybe the fading disorder occurs when the ink within the body dries up.
Grab me, and I'll spoil it for you. It never
I'm
really
not
will.
really
It's a
sure
cool
I can
idea
really
that
wrap my head around this.
plot
What
is
do
so
you
full,
mean
but
you
it
can't
feels like
wrap
it's
your
just
head
giving
around?
Bolin something
The
to do where
fairy
you
is
can
recounting the
overall,
story?
she's an
Don't be
intrigue, a pretty alright
ridiculous. There's no
acting
way
scene,
you're
a
old enough to have met her.
Oh, fine. It was my grandfather, all right? He was the one that said that one day after her hand.
As always,
Ugh,
description below
cut
the
the
video. Be sure to
theatrics.
follow on my top page. For 50 kobolds, right by Lion. So everyone was really
So
surprised
in your
that the
world, the
English,
creation of
Spanish,
life
and
is...
Russian already was they were
Well,
found.
that's
Those
not
are the word that spiked silk is strong
That's
as
enough
steel,
out of
whoever
you.
reads
All your
spiked
boasting is
companions have a
confusing
full set
our...
of spiked
no,
silk
it's
plate
all
armor. The bird 13, it was said to be the head
Actually,
some
the honor
odd
was
4
all-
years ago in the wives
We've got
and
one
four broke
final
over their
stop.
necks. So, free to go, that's the law. Balloon and Victor participated in the running of the bulls by running directly at them and just dodged them all. Lurgax won. Who guessed was next?
I didn't get to fight anyone with Lisa.
Well, since we've taken care of most of the tasks, all we need to do... But we still don't know how to use the magic of... Oh! What... You mean the creation magic his grandfather saw outside? Maybe... you don't need to... In other words... Well, we are surrounded by talk... You're right, Paimon. We won't know it... This is how you do it, right? Whoa, your origami skills are great! I once saw one of our prop people making something similar. It
What
looked
the
really
fuck?
cool. So I took some time during my break to learn the basics. It's not a bad way
You
to
can't
stave
just
off
learn
sleepiness
origami
either.
like that. What does
Well,
that
how do you
make
do?
me then? A
Sense
fucking
any,
fool?
Magical
I used to
powers
dissect
flowing
other
through
people's
you?
origamis as well to learn how they folded.
No. No? Magic words? good point. You're the... I bestow upon you the blessings of the... Your name shall be Harisara.
Nice.
May you bloom in... My name is Harisara. It worked.
Well, peel my shell and call me a nut. I'd never imagined I'd witness such a miracle at my...
Shell? Nice to meet you, Harisara. I'm Nilu. Hello, Fairy Nilu. I hope you'll grow up happily and grow up.
Oh, you can leave the little... Here, Padisara. Come to Grandpa Armin.
Well, now that Nilu has mastered the goddess's magic, we should... Grandpa Almond, could you send a few people to check...
Oh, of course.
The moment I used magic, I sensed something...
Of course, we'll look into it.
Make sure you listen to Grandpa Almond, Padisara. Padisara. Listen. Running.
Hey, come back here, you. Wait.
Yep, that's Nilu's creation, all right. She's got so much energy. Anyway, how did... Well, all I did was say my wishes for her out loud. This place is seeming more like... we're somewhere... Well, anyway, Paimon thinks this magic suits you perfect. When I brought Harisara to life just now, but for some reason, there's a hollowed out space...
We're back, my lady.
That was fast.
You were right. There was something under the tavern that I've never seen.
Transparent and... already?
Glass.
You've got to use fairy tale logic.
Bottle.
That's right. An empty ink bottle, to be exact. Still remember... Yeah, it was... Traveler, Paimon, will you come gather... Sure thing! What do we need... A setting sun that never sets. Where are we supposed to find crazy things like that? What? How did you get that so fast? Logic, huh?
Yeah, how the fuck did you get that? Oh, hello there, I'm Nilu. Nice, I get to play in her new outfit. Yeah, this came out actually just a few hours after the update rolled out. That's not just dedication, but that is talent. Raw mastery. How do you model something so quickly? My drawings take fucking 4 hours average to finish. There's the idea phase, which ranges from 30 to 1 hour. Maybe faster if I already had an idea a long time ago I want to fulfill. The sketching phase is another hour, and then the finalization phase, which is the coloring and stuff, that's usually obviously the longest. I imagine 3D modeling is much the same. Start off with like the basic vertices or something. Ah, there it is. Then you gotta apply the textures and stuff. And I need to beat these guys up.
Busted. You play. You're... With all my strength.
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Trialing Nilu is never gonna feel good.
Come a little closer. You're in for a little
like,
shock.
Unless you know ahead of time what you're getting into. You're not gonna be able to take any advantage of her abilities.
That should be everything, right? What should we do now? Let's go back to the Hut of Blessings. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go fetch an ink bottle from the other room. Paimon doesn't get it. All the ingredients are super tasty, but some... Well, anyway, Paimon's not going anywhere care of this stuff this time. Sorry to keep you waiting.
You
Let's
can make
see.
ink out of those?
According to the book, first you do this, then this, and then... It's done! Wow, magic sure makes...
Yes, this is it. This is exactly the magic tonic we need.
Grandpa Almond, could you take the concoction to the room underneath the tavern and place it next to the transparent bottle you found?
Of course, as you command.
I still get nervous at times like this. It's just... Thanks, you two. Let's go. We shouldn't keep...
Story should almost be done. I want to have lunch.
Forest. Please, may your spring of wonder...
I thought you couldn't use your vision.
Fairy Nilu is amazing! Wow, it's so pretty! What a beautiful tavern! It matches the scenery of the forest perfectly. I was so surprised when it's...
I remember now. I remember everything. It was me. I was the one who went to the top. The hero who shall save this world will descend upon...
So the prophecy really did have all the answers.
That's why I was waiting near the Cliff of Prophecy.
Is the Cliff of Prophecy that place with the huge mural? 'Cause that is where we woke...
If not you, then who else? You've already helped the fairy revital...
All right. Either way, we're going to keep adventuring. Yep, we've beaten up plenty of dragons already.
As expected, the
Yeah, imagine
words
if you're
of the
doing this
goddess
event.
of prophecy always come true.
When you just recently hit
I'll come with
AR-15
you.
or
It
something.
can't hurt to have a magical fairy tag along, right? Heroes and fairies, dragons and new adventures.
I would say your next stop should be Constellation Metropole. Once you've arrived at the Astral Garden...
Are you leaving, Fairy? I'm afraid so. There are still other people who need my help. I won't go far, though, and I'll... So be a good girl, Padisara, and help out... Got it! Padisara will wait here for you.
That's a good girl, Padisara. I'll head to the station first thing tomorrow morning.
Sounds great! Paimon definitely feels
Oh, sounds like someone's ready to order.
Oh, well, if you're offering. Paimon will take a glass of...
Right. Well, next part of the story is tomorrow. So what does it mean to be 3.0? So my next 90 lesson. I like the outfit, but I'm a fan of my current outfit for Nilu already. Once I pick my favorite, I find it hard to change. This thing isn't using text effect. How does it do that transparency stuff?
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra.